Hi everyone, this is Letitia Andrade with Healthy Planet Group, and I wanted to come on today and tell you something I learned which was so profound and it made just so much sense, and I wanted to make sure you knew about it too, and that is the 4 main areas in which the habits you do, right, will transform your life. And what I'm talking about, okay, because so many people are doing healthy habits as the beginning of the new year, and maybe they are continuously doing those consistently. Maybe they've already fallen out of these habits, but a lot of people do one of these habit areas. Some people do 2 of these habit areas, but not many people actually develop the skills and have a healthy habit in place for number 3 and 4. And so I wanted to come on and share with you about how this podcast that I listen to, and maybe you like Jay Shetty as well in his podcast, but he recently interviewed Robin Sharma, which is a really amazing author about leadership, and his book, right, which is the 5 a.m. Club, talks about the 4 interior empires of history makers, right? Some of us consider ourselves history makers, some of us not yet, and that's totally cool. But I really kind of wanted to reframe that of 4 main areas of healthy habits that will change your life, because I really think it just dives down to basically 4 healthy habits that anyone, right, regardless of where you are at in your season of life and the healthy habits you're consistently committing to, that they are really awesome 4 areas that I think all of us really need to pay attention to. So if you catch the Facebook Live that I did on Wednesday, that basically talked about the 4 ways in which we can step into the vision of our life, okay? And those 4 areas were, okay, get clear on what you want. Number 2 is commit to that vision. Number 3 was surround yourself with other people that are up-leveling their life as well. And I recommended, tuning into some podcasts that are really motivational and inspirational to you. And then the 4th way, right, that we can commit to the vision of our life is by taking consistent action. And so that is kind of what I'm going to dive more into today with these 4 main areas that they talked about on the podcast, of which I think we all really need to pay attention to. Okay, so one of the quotes he said on the podcast, which was really, transformative in the way it kind of really made you think of why this is so important, is that everything that we do, okay, in our inner world, right, reflects in our outer world, okay? So again, everything, okay, you do in your outer world is actually a reflection of what is happening within you, right? And I talked about that a little bit, about, really growing into the highest version of yourself, right? And the doors to success, he says, swing inward, right? So really, your self-identity, right, determines your impact and it determines your income. Okay, and the more time we spend working on ourselves and in personal development, the stronger our craft becomes. Okay, so here are the 4 different ways in which he really says that you need to develop healthy habits in. Okay, first is health set. And a lot of us know what health set means. It's our physical being, right? It's the fact that maybe a lot of us are in tune with healthy eating and exercising, doing things for our physical body. So I wanted to kind of give you a few examples in each area in ways that I'm consistently right now making sure that I commit to these certain healthy habits in each area. So the number 1 for healthy habit, for health set, would be that I continually recommit every day, right, to healthy eating, okay? What this is really saying is that sometimes I don't really eat healthy foods. Sometimes, right, when I'm, say, eating my hummus with all of my fresh veggies there and my pita chips, Maybe I'm eating more pita chips with the hummus. Maybe some of those fresh veggies go back in the fridge. Whatever, right? We can't be so hard on ourselves, okay? Maybe one day looks amazing for what we did nutritionally for our bodies. Maybe later that night, we kind of, eat some things that are just kind of comfort foods, okay? If we get so hard on ourselves, right, about a little bit of slip-ups in our routine, it's gonna keep us from taking consistent action, and it's gonna kind of mess with our head. So I just try to recommit every day to doing the best I can, to eating, the different fruits and veggies of all the different colors to really support my microbiome health. But when I do slip up, I just don't worry about it, okay? Another thing I do, and some of you guys might think this is really interesting, is the exercise I currently am doing is pretty normal and also somewhat unusual. So what I do every single day is, my dog right now is a puppy, and it needs to absolutely be ran around at least 5 blocks, or it literally is going to eat everyone that walks through my gate. Okay. And so I, on my bike, run that puppy around all of the different blocks, and that's just one of the things I do. The other thing that maybe some of you guys don't know I do is I love doing yoga to hip hop music. Okay, so sometimes that is Kid Cudi, sometimes that is different artists in which I really enjoy a certain playlist that goes along with my yoga moves, and I basically change the yoga pose with the tempo of the song when it changes, okay? So I do something, right? My dad actually says that that's not really doing yoga. It needs to be silent, it needs to be quiet, it needs to be reflective. But for me, if I'm going to do something fun exercise-wise, it has to be something that I really enjoy. And I love doing yoga to actual music. And it's a completely different level of joy. And I really think exercise, if you're going to stick with it, has to bring you somewhat joy. So after the yoga is done, I go and jump on my trampoline, okay? I have a trampoline in the backyard, and I probably jump on it maybe more than my kids do. And that is so good for your lymphatic system to really kind of shake up everything inside of you and get everything flowing. And they say that it is super, super great for cardio. It's also great just for, just for overall health, really. You can kind of look it up. It's called rebounding. So that's on my trampoline. So the next area in which Robin Sharma talks about on this podcast with Shetty of the 4 interior empires is mindset, right? And some of us are developing our mindset, right? We know that's important. We know that we have to continually kind of bring self-awareness, right, to our thoughts and kind of stop our thoughts in track and think, is this thought really serving me? Do I need to flip the script? Okay, is this thought actually my gut instinct, my intuition, or is it, right, a coping mechanism or some sort of subconscious programming, right, of how I used to live that doesn't serve me now, that I actually need to stop in my tracks, right? And realize that's not a self-serving habit that's actually, and thought that's actually going to bring me closer to who I want to be. So you really have to imagine that some of the things we're thinking of, right, are because of maybe past trauma we had, maybe codependency issues. Who knows, right, what other people really kind of have in their thoughts of things that were really kind of from the past and actually not even about who I am now. So you really kind of have to imagine, is this thought, right, something that I need to retrain my brain to flip the script on, or is it actually my gut instinct telling me that I need to pay attention to this thought? Okay. Another thing you guys know that I love to do is I support my mental and emotional health with prebiotics, probiotics that supports, right, the gut-brain connection, right? And so I don't overthink, I have more confidence, I have more emotional balance, and I absolutely have greater stress resiliency. These are things I strategically do for my mindset that's a healthy habit that I really think is so powerful, because really, you know, when you're thinking of your whole body, your mind is like the steering wheel and driver for your life, right? So we really have to adopt those healthy habits and push those and grow with them. Okay, so the third of the four interior empires that Robin Sharma talks about in his book is heart set. Okay, and that is basically your realm of emotions. Okay, tell me how many of you guys know those people, okay, that don't sit with their emotions, process their emotions, reflect on their emotions, and therefore project their emotions on all these other people in their life, and they're not even the people that person has a problem with maybe, but they're the person that's there right in front of them right then, right? That is so unhealthy. And I know I've done this in the past so many times, and I probably still do, but I have to work on catching myself, right? So I really try to, through my future self journaling practice, which is another Facebook Live that I've done, I really check on and reflect my current feelings, and I ask myself strategic questions about how I want to feel and what I need to do to change things currently, today, right? Or maybe tomorrow, in order to feel the way I want to feel, right? To support that vision that I have of my life. Okay. Another thing, which is really an oddball thing, but I love to do it, for my emotions and kind of reining in my emotions and trying not to throw up all over everyone else, is I find healthy ways to let out my emotions, okay? And part of that is the yoga that I do, right? Maybe that's just simply dancing. Maybe it's putting on my headphones, right? And when I'm out doing exercise, maybe with the dog, or I'm doing a chore I don't want to do, or if I'm just feeling like I need to use my voice to get out my emotions, I put on a playlist related to how I'm sitting with my feelings, right? Maybe it's a certain song that kind of, you know, speaks to you right then, you know, with certain lyrics. And then basically it moves on through going to a song eventually of how you want to feel. Okay, so I sing along to these playlists, and it is so obnoxious to my family members, and they tell me so often, I'm on the phone, can you please stop singing, blah, blah, blah. But whatever, I know it's better for me to get out and project my emotions in a healthy way versus actually, you know, getting them out in a negative way that harmfully impacts anyone else. Okay, so the fourth interior empire that Robin Sharma talks about in his book, The 5 a.m. Club, is soul set. Okay, and so what soul set basically is all about is checking your ego. Okay, and I like to do this, and I have been doing this, and I have to continually, right, make sure I do this in a few different ways. One is I dive into personal development books, podcasts, different ways that I'm learning about different ways of living so that I don't come across, right, thinking that I know the best way for other people to live. Okay? I do absolutely always till the end of my days want to make sure, right, that I'm respecting other people's way of living, right? And I don't assume that I know the best way for them to live. Okay? This is so important to me. And I got there because so many people in my life that I've known from all different periods of my life, a lot of them have done this, right? And I know that I might have been more judgmental in the past, but I have a commitment to making sure other people don't feel disrespected, invalidated, or judged for the way that they live their life. Okay? And one of the ways that I try to practice this a bit is by not giving advice, right? This is hard because I'm a little bit of a talker, and especially when there's space in between conversation, I feel it, right? I know a lot of people like that too. You fill, right, the conversation and the void and the space and the silence with some chatter. And sometimes that comes across as projecting your opinion onto other people. But one of the things that I try to remember is don't give advice unless someone specifically asked for your advice. Okay? Sometimes we want to tell people because we're trying to be helpful and, we just have good intentions, but it is so transformative, okay, to catch yourself and realize if that person wanted to get my perspective and opinion, they'll ask for it. Okay? So that was a little bit of two different habits for the soul set, for checking your ego, diving into personal development, and also appreciating different ways that people live. So I hope you guys found some value, okay? And if you guys haven't checked out Jay Shetty's podcast yet, especially this one on Robin Sharma, The Four Interior Empires of History Makers, I really think you'll enjoy it. If you got value from this today, please comment below. Let me know what you enjoyed. And if you feel like someone else could find value in it too, please share it with someone else. Because everything that I learn, I'm going to come on here and just tell you how I'm working at it in my own life so we can all grow together. Thanks so much. Have a great day, guys. Bye.